Oh.
Americans do not respect believers.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh.
Freedom requires religion.
Oh. Wow. Wow.
I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Savior of mankind.
So, Mitt Romney giving the big speech, the big Mormon speech. It was compared to John F. Kennedy's I Am a Catholic speech from September 12th, 1960. Not a more disparate comparison could be made than between John F. Kennedy and a man named after something that catches a baseball. And George Bush introduced him. Now, George Bush looked haggard. And I don't mean like a Merle Haggard or a Hagrid from the Harry Potter series. I mean haggard.
Americans tire of those who would jettison their beliefs even to gain the world.
This is his Mormon speech, and he mentions the word Mormon, I think once, twice, but never does he explain anything about their crazy prophet, who was like a snake oil salesman. He doesn't explain about the bee planet I mentioned. There's a bee planet that they believe they all come from.
Freedom requires religion, just as religion requires freedom. Freedom opens the windows of the soul so that man can discover his most profound beliefs.
To say that I must be religious in order to be free is like saying you have to work in this concentration camp in order to liberate yourself. And then Mitt Romney talks about going to Europe and how he sees all the churches, and Europe has such beautiful churches, but they're just postcards because there's nobody in them. And you know why? Because maybe they're like museums. Because it's arcane to believe in some fake thing that determines your destiny. This invisible thing that we have no concept about, that none of us can presume to have any knowledge about until we die. He talked a lot about our founding fathers and how religion was so important in their pursuit of governance, which is not true. Here's the brief history. Most of our forefathers were deists, which meant they believed in anything that God was like a watchmaker, and he made the universe, set the watch, and then let it go. And he hasn't interfered since. The founding fathers wanted to escape religious persecution into an open environment where they could practice what? Not religion, business. They could practice business openly. The revolution was not a religious war. It was a war of debt. And who owed what? So, let's drop the piety.
I love the profound ceremony of the Catholic Mass, the approachability of God in the prayers of the evangelicals.
I want to know, why did Mitt Romney get an hour with that sanctimonious prick Chris Matthews, clearly addled from his bout with malaria a few years ago? He's starting to get water on his brain. Said he gave a brilliant speech. Thank God there was some woman they didn't even show who said that she was scared for our country. That is where we're at. That, like, the voice of reason is like this like little whisper in the back, and someone's like, cut her mic. She's making sense. You know, you could say he is like the Mormon Bill Clinton. He's got this sort of, this slick, you know, he's Slick Mitty instead of Slick Willie. Does that even work? Slick Mitty. I've had a Slick Mitty earlier today. That's why I'm so relaxed right now. But I want to say I look like I have the inversion of an ascot. I feel like I should have an ascot here, but I don't.
Americans do not respect believers of convenience.